This is DJ Multiverse, broadcasting live and direct from Planet ZX6. I come in peace. Remember, this is the best place to get your news from a little planet called Earth over in the Milky Way sector. Sunday, June 21st, Pacific Standard Earth Time. Topic of today, San Diego Comic-Con, where humans like to dress up as their favorite character and get news about their favorite franchise. All right, so much of the noise is coming from Marvel Cinematic Universe announcing their Phase 4. So I'm kind of just going to go down the line and kind of recap everything that came out of that. One of the biggest things is their new franchise to answer the end of the Avengers would be Marvel's Eternals. All right, it's going to be starring Richard Madden as Icarus, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, Lauren Ridloff as Makari, Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos, Salma Hayek as Ajax, Leah McHugh as Sprite, Don Lee as Gilgamesh, and Angelina Jolie as Thena. I'm sure this comes as a big surprise to a lot of people who were speculating Angelina Jolie was going to play Cersei, but they flipped it on us, and she's going to be playing a character named Thena. I'm going to kind of go over the Eternals a little bit before I move on. All right, Eternals was created by Jack Kirby. It's described as a mixed mythology with science fiction to create an origin story for the entire Marvel Universe, or at least its version of Earth. Millions of years ago, giant beings known as Celestials descended from space and genetically experimented on Earth's hominid population. This, in the Marvel Universe, is canonically how humans evolved from our ape ancestors with a helping hand from the gods. But Homo sapiens weren't the only result of the Celestials' experiments. They also created the deviants, misshapen creatures with no genetic stability. Each individual looks like they belong to a different species, and Homo immortalis, better known as the Eternals. The Eternals are the winners of the genetic lottery. They are all in excellent shape with fantastic hair and imbued with cosmic powers. This grants them the ability to reshape the world at a molecular level, as well as levitation, telepathy, super strength, and a grab bag of other fairly generic superpowers. All right, and as their names also suggest, the Eternals are also immortal. All right, so let's just go over a couple of the characters with the main seeming like it's going to be Icarus, Fastos, Ajax, and Thena. All right, for y'all that's going to chase down first appearances, Icarus' first appearance was Eternals #1, July 1976. Thena, Eternals #5, which is going to come as a big shock for people who thought Angelina Jolie was playing Cersei. They went out and bought Eternals #3, but the first appearance of Angelina Jolie's character, Thena, actually was Eternals #5 in November 1976. Alter ego also named Azura. Let's see. Fastos' first appearance comes in the Eternals. Is that #1? Eternals #1. Eternals Volume 2 #1. I'm sorry. Volume 2 #1, which actually is October 1985. So it looks like he's from the second wave of Eternals. Again, that's Eternals Volume 2 #1, October 1985. And Ajax first appearance, Eternals #2, August 1976. And just another bit of information, Eternals #2 is also the first appearance of the Celestials, which have already made small appearances throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe previously. All right. So moving forward, That was the Eternals. Next would be the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. WandaVision. I think I'm very, very interested in WandaVision because I know specifically that links up to one of the movies. So I love how they're going to connect those. I'll give a little bit more on that when that comes up. Also on the Disney Plus service is going to be Loki. It's going to follow him after he escaped in Avengers Endgame. So it's going to pretty much be the guy that never actually turned into that hero. So we'll see him back to his villainous and mischievous ways. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now this is the one. It's going to catch up with WandaVision. WandaVision is going to branch out into the movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am specifically interested in this because Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is very, very powerful in the comic books. Also, in the comic books, she was able to just say no more mutants, and all mutants disappeared. That was a comic book line. I believe it was House of M. I'm pretty sure it was House of M. No more mutants. That's all she had to say, and all mutants disappeared. So, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, can she say, where are the mutants, or something relating to mutants and make them all up here? Who knows? She's just that powerful. We don't know where she's going to go. And being as though this is Multiverse of Madness, it's something she did open up the multiverse and, open up and floods all these other characters in. That's just there's no there was no news on that. That's just my own speculation there. But definitely Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it's confirmed that Scarlet Witch will be co-starring in that with Doctor Strange. Two powerful cosmic energies, and that's going to be amazing. What If comics will be adapted for the screen. That's going to be an animated series, and it's going to be starring the Watcher. If you've ever seen read the What If books, What If can just branch off to anything. Just what if I became the Hulk? What if Jane Foster became Spider-Man instead of Thor? What If can just do anything. It opens up a whole nother world of imagination way before you had the Ultimate Universe and all that kind of stuff going on. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with What If. Hawkeye. In the Hawkeye series on the Disney Plus, Jeremy Renner will be training the next Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. I find that absolutely interesting because I think this is where they're going to start planning in the future, because this is phase 4. I believe when we get into phase 5 and phase 6, we're going to have Kate Bishop as the first line of the next generation. So that, of course, that's in the future. Now we're just talking about phase 4, but I think that they planted Kate Bishop in phase 4 to get ready for the next line, where we'll see people like the Young Avengers, maybe the Champions, maybe some Ironheart. She'll be already there, ready to lead that next generation. Thor: Love and Thunder. Man, that was big news. In Thor: Love and Thunder, which is going to be Thor 4, we're going to be seeing Jane Foster take on the mantle of Thor as she did in the comic book as the Goddess of Thunder. When Thor becomes unworthy, she picks up the hammer and picks up where he leaves off to protect the realms as the Goddess of Thunder. Now, this has been mixed reactions, as a lot of people are saying they don't want to see Natalie Porter. They're happy about the Goddess of Thunder, but they're not happy with Natalie Porter playing a role. Something about they think that she didn't have a lot of chemistry with Chris Hemsworth. We all have our opinion, but here it is. Love and Thunder is already confirmed. Natalie Portman is playing a role. I say let's just see it and enjoy it. Me personally, in my own opinion, which, I'm sure my opinion doesn't matter, but I'm going to say it anyway. Who cares if she doesn't have chemistry with Chris Hemsworth? Because I don't go seeing comic book movies looking for chemistry. If you want chemistry, go rewatch The Notebook. I want to see if Jane Foster picks up the hammer and is badass. That's what I want to see. I don't need her making googly eyes at Thor through the movie. I want to see her put the hammer down. That's my opinion. All right, moving on. We're going to see Black Widow in a standalone movie. At first, I wasn't too enthused about this, being as though, she died in Endgame. I figured, why go backwards? But I do like the fact that it's taking place in between Civil War and the Infinity Saga, and it's going to be introduce Yelena, who I hear picks up the mantle as Black Widow in the comics. So it's not just saying goodbye to the original Black Widow, it's also passing on to the new Black Widow. So in that aspect, I think it does make sense. And it's also going to introduce a new villain. Let's see, I believe the Taskmaster is not showing what I'm looking at right now. I believe it's going to introduce the Taskmaster, which we all know is one of the big villains that terrorizes the Marvel Universe. So I think that'll be a good villain to introduce. Blade. I don't know if this took anyone else by surprise, but I did not see that coming. And it did not recast. Oh, it's on my tip of my tongue. I can't believe I can't remember the guy who played Blade right now. It's just right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, man. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I can't believe I just can't think of this guy's name, man. It ain't like he's... And it shouldn't take me this long to find his name. I'm really dropping the ball here. Wesley Snipes. Jesus Christ. How can I not remember Wesley Snipes? Wesley Snipes was the original Blade, and what a great Blade he was. But it looks like Marvel's moving on because they're rebooting it. And Blade was awesome in the original. Wesley Snipes was awesome in the original Blade, but we're past that. He did a trilogy. If they brought him back to reprise that role, it would have had to been an exit for Wesley Snipes. So I think it was a good move that they cast Mahershala Ali. So, because they're actually rebooting it. Instead of saying bringing Blade back as Wesley Snipes as like the final return or something like that, they're rebooting it. So Mahershala Ali can actually, start off a whole new trilogy, which is exciting news. They also say that's the nail in the coffin for the Netflix shows because we know he was Cottonmouth, and the MCU doesn't generally use two actors of the same character. They usually, they reprise their same roles, which is one of the reasons we love it. So Cottonmouth is gone. Mahershala Ali is now Blade. Did anyone else notice? Now, one thing that was said, I believe it was Jonathan Hickman. We're going to have more Hickman in a minute. I believe Hickman said that they're not connected. The comic books are not written for the movies not written for the comic books. One thing I noticed, did anybody else notice that is it just a coincidence that Blade was just in the current Avengers comic book run? Did y'all notice? I don't know which one is going off which. I don't know if it's the comics going off the movie news or if the movies is going off the comics. But all of a sudden in this new Avengers run, we had Blade joining the Avengers and the Vampire, run. And now we get Blade announced as an official movie. So one of them is getting information from the other. I don't care which one. And I think it's not bad. I think it's good that we were just introduced to Blade as an Avenger in the comic books run, and then there he's coming out in the movie. You got to be current. You can't just grab everything from the old days, and we're not, new readers aren't up on what's going on. So Blade in the new Avengers run makes sense, and now he's in the movies. All right, that's just my eye. All right, so moving on, that's just Marvel's Phase 4. And I'm going to end it out with Hickman's plans for the X-Men, as the MCU also has the rights to the X-Men. We all know they bought them back from Fox. And they haven't been announced yet. They're not on the Phase 4 slate. We're pretty sure they're coming eventually. And we know right now Jonathan Hickman is revamping their whole mythology. They started out with House of X, which is coming out this July 24th, and Powers of X, which is coming out July 31st. Those are both the number ones of those series. Those are mini-series that's going to lead into Dawn of X, and then it's going to lead into the official new X-Men line. It's looking like it's going to be a few different titles branching out of House of X and Power of X, which I'm sorry, they're saying it's supposed to be House of 10 and Powers of 10. I'm not sure which is right. I never looked it up to confirm, but I had information from a trusted source that actually is supposed to be 10 and not an X, kind of like Weapons X is not Weapon X, it's Weapons 10. And I don't know, either way it works. It's an X-Men title, it's an X, it works. But those titles are going to branch out to the Marauders, which is going to feature Pyro, Iceman, Storm, Bishop, Emma Frost, and Kitty Pryde for the team of Marauders. For the comic book Excalibur, the team will be Richter, Jubilee, Gambit, Rogue, Psylocke, also the new aka the new Captain Britain. I guess she has a new name, or I guess he changed to a new character. Psylocke's whole origin and mythology is kind of muddled with different characters anyway. And on Excalibur also will be Apocalypse. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's taking on a kind of a superhero role at this point. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The team of X-Force will be Wolverine, Marvel Girl, Domino, Beast, Kid Omega, Sage, Colossus, and Black Tom. Fallen Angels will have X-23, Cable, and Psylocke, but this is going to be a new Psylocke, not Betsy Broderick. All right, it's going to be a new Psylocke, someone taking up the mantle. And that's the book Fallen Angels. In the new line of New Mutants, we're going to have Rod. I'm sorry, not Rod. I think that's one of the writers, or maybe one of the artists. But the characters would be Magic, Sunspot, Cypher, Mirage, Karma, Wolfsbane, Chamber, and Mondo. And for the actual X-Men line that's actually written by Jonathan Hickman, it says that will just feature every Marvel mutant. So they'll probably have a revolving team. Anything mutant related. So all right, well, there you have it. That's the news. Big news from Marvel Phase 4 and the new X-Men line from Jonathan Hickman. Again, pick up the new House of X or House of 10, however you prefer, this Wednesday, July 24th. And the new Powers of X, Powers of 10 of number 1, July 31st. Everything I read off will have the links, so you can go read up for yourself. The links will be listed, so check that out. Once again, I am DJ Multiverse, broadcasting from Planet ZX6. We come in peace.